Land Geek Nation.
Are we on?
We're on. Welcome to Nightcap.
Hey!
Hey!
What's up, boys?
What's happening?
Happy Wednesday. Happy May Day. I mean, it's not May Day. It is a May Day, but beautiful May Day here in Wisconsin. How's life for you guys? So, first of all, who are we? Mike Zano, introduce us to our new watches.
We're the Land Geek guys. So I'm Mike Zano. That's Matt Forbes. That's Scott Bossman. And we come on here once a week and we have a couple beverages. We talk about land deals. There's a lot of content, a lot of fun. So tune in, ask questions. That's if I could give anybody any advice, ask questions.
Yeah,
we're here to help, and a couple thousand of you come here every week to watch us, so it must be worth something.
30,000, 40,000. We're awesome.
Yeah, I mean, think of all the platforms we're on. We're syndicated. We're on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, Periscope.
Syndicated.
We're syndicated.
Syndicated all around the country.
Yeah. Oh, we got Mike Newell is tuning in on Periscope, by the way. Mike,
I knew you were going to talk about Periscope.
You increased our Periscope watchers by 100% this week, so that's nice. Thank you for tuning in. That must have been funny, huh? I'm usually not that funny. Usually you guys are like, eh.
That was funny.
Oh, thanks.
That was funny.
Oh, come on.
Appreciate it.
Hugs. What are you talking about?
So,
credits to...
Hugs.
Hello, everybody. Bill Dickens says hello. Christopher Egner's watching. Peter Zerios is watching. John, I'm going to get this right. Sotiropoulos is watching. That's got to be a Greek name. John, tell me if that's a Greek name. And
is that the correct pronunciation? That was good.
That's
French.
No, it's not French. So yeah, we're talking land investing tonight, as we do every Wednesday night when Mike Zeno isn't working. And how's land going, guys? I think around the board, around the community, people are having record months the last month or so. I would say for us, things are very consistent and steady as far as sales go. And it's pretty awesome stuff. What about you, Forbes? You're having a good month and a good first week of May. I mean, you're to the point now where you're bringing in enough income to replace a lawnmower, which is exciting.
I don't think that really does it justice, but yeah, bought a new.
Is that the reason behind the hat? Is this like a subliminal message?
So my wife dug it up. This is my old John Deere trucker hat. She dug it up because we moved to a new house, right? And we knew we were going to need a lawnmower. It's a pretty big lawn. We have like a standard, 24-inch push lawnmower that's not self-propelled or anything, and it's way, way too much lawn. So we're like, okay, we're going to budget like $2,000, right? And I'm like, okay, well, we can go buy a pretty crappy lawnmower for $2,000. And then we thought, hey, we really could use one for the snow, like a snowblower attachment and, a wagon and all this other stuff. And so we're getting on board to go to Home Depot and buy a crappy mower that'll last 5 or 6 years and just call it a day. And I'm like, you know what? It's going really well in land. I wonder if we can do something else. So we have the storage container that we rent for $100 a month. And I said, hey, let's take that $2,000. Let's pay off that storage container. That frees up $100 a month. And then let's go buy like one of the most expensive John Deeres they sell for like $10,000. And that'll cost me $100 a month with no interest financing. So that's what we went and did. So, and then today I sold a property where I'm going to make $108 a month. So I'm out.
It's a wash. The John Deere's a wash.
Yeah. Yeah. And the best part, that deal, that's a land arb deal. I didn't even pay for the property. So not so bad. So I think I just got a free $10,000 lawnmower.
Now you may think I'm not paying attention because I'm looking down, but I'm going to tell you what I'm doing right now. Do you know what I'm doing right now? You know what I'm doing right now, Mr. Forbes.
A little math. Cocaine.
I'm saying I just texted something to Laura and I said, need to order this now.
On the mic?
You sound amazing. I'm sorry.
I look amazing,
I have
too.
to admit it.
It's exciting.
I am. He sounds amazing, and I'm really jealous right now. He's got.
I know.
It's like this is worse than when we have Larry Overstreet. This is worse than we have
Where's
you on
Larry?
here.
Larry would be proud of this mic. He would recognize this microphone. So, yeah. Thanks, Tom Conway. He said great story.
Interest-free.
Thanks, man. I didn't even know. What's funny is we pulled the trigger on it, and I'm like, whatever. It's $100 a month. Like, whatever. It's not a big deal. And then we sold that property today.
I mean,
I'm like,
if you can,
yeah, like,
if you can buy it, if you bought a John Deere with your terms deal this week, I think I could probably buy a microphone with my terms deal this week. So
my tractor was $9,700.
Yeah.
The microphone is $399, and it literally is on 4-year financing. It's $9 a month.
Yeah, but it's actually.
I might buy it and send it to you.
Do I have to get the add-ons because it's a little about $400 with the add-ons? Do I need the add-ons?
You do. You need the Focusrite.
Is that 0% interest financing?
It is. It is. That's why I bought it. I'm like, it's $9 a month. Why do I not buy this? I was having so many problems with my microphone. I'm like, screw it. And I love it because I do LinkedIn things for my regular job where I basically like look in the camera and I'm like, you're all really dumb. Stop being dumb. And now I sound better doing it. So come on.
It's on order. She said, you sure? I said, yes. Done.
The
Bossman, I'm sorry to say that we have to. I feel like we got to conform on this one. This is an amazing. We can't have Forbes. We can never have Larry Overstreet do this to us again either. Like Larry, I'm sorry, you can't come on until we have the mics. You can't come back on the show till we have our mics.
The real problem is that Mark is getting his boom for this microphone tomorrow.
I don't want to hold it like he does. It looks like he's holding like this.
Yeah, no, that's insane because it's actually really heavy. But he's gonna outsound you guys. You know, you guys are gonna sound like you're playing from the cheap seats.
Not for long. How long does it take to get here? Is it ordering tonight? When will I expect this? By next night, Kev?
Yeah, let me check my watch. Yeah, hold on. Yeah, I'm the company. You bet.
Come on, you ordered one recently. You know.
Good luck with that. It was like a week or two. You know.
All right. We got people tuning in here. No questions yet, but Paul Bellatti's here. Bill Dickens is here. He does have a question. We'll get to it in a minute. Jim O'Connor's here. About ready to start flight school. My college best friend is here. Peter Newberg. Skull. Cheers to you, my friend. And
I'm loading up the audience with friends so you can. Wow, that's pretty good. I like it.
Yeah, I know.
Is that you, Matt?
Me.
Yeah.
That's when I had hair.
Where's the beer holder?
You look amazing.
It actually does have a beer holder. I'm not even kidding. It does. It's insane. I'm so excited.
I can just see you out there. Yeehaw.
Yeah.
Free John Deere, awesome. Everybody loves the John Deere story. Matthew Walt says can't wait to be able to buy a tractor from a deal. So how about you guys ready for the first question of the evening?
It is.
Yes,
I am.
No.
This is from Bill Dickens. Zeno, we touched on this a little bit in the roundtable yesterday. We can give people a little bit of a preview. But is anybody getting any sales on Craigslist? Matt Forbes?
I know people who are. I don't actually do Craigslist. I just am trying to dominate Facebook. But I have friends who are selling on Craigslist.
I like it. An inch wide and a mile deep. You're digging into Facebook.
Yes.
Yes.
Facebook, it's definitely flipped a little bit, I think, Zeno, compared to when you and I started. I think when you and I started 5 years ago, there were definitely more sales on Craigslist.
Oh, people were saying, what? You land on Facebook? No way. That's what it was like years ago. And then it happened. I think there's merit to having multiple, obviously, lines of, you want to generate leads, right? But you got to get, there's something to be said for getting one of them down first. I mean, if it's working, keep cranking it. And then once you get it rolling smoothly and automated, go get to another source. No big deal. It's all good. I was thinking of something too, Bossman.
What's that?
Because we're talking about all the record months and all this stuff. But can you imagine if someone, let's just say somebody sold one property a month, $200 a month, play it forward in a year, $2,400. I mean, can you think about it? You just paid your mortgage in 1 year.
Yeah.
It's 1 year. And we're talking about people doing multiple deals. I know, what's it, like last week, Forbes, so 6 deals, or the week before, I forget.
7.
And it's incredible, right? But think
Yeah.
about if someone solidly just did one deal a month, added $200, just a click.
Well,
It just kept going.
But what you're missing there, though, is you're only looking at the first year.
Right.
So that $200 a month deal, is at minimum a 48-month deal. It's probably a 60 or an 80 or a 100. So while year 1 you're at $2,400, fabulous. Year 2, you're almost at 5 Gs.
Yeah.
Year 3, I mean, there's some attrition in there. There's some people giving it back. Yada yada. People die, but
It
whatever.
just shows you how manageable it is, though. If you we talk about the little wins. We talk about just look at you can hear someone can listen and hear you say 6 sales, 7 sales in a week and just be overwhelmed. Like, I don't know how I could ever. But if you're like, listen, just do one, and then rinse, repeat, and do another one, and the momentum can grow on its own. But it's really unbelievable if you think about it. I mean, is there not enough proof out there that everybody, if they come to learn this recipe, could do one deal a month? I mean, really,
You
think
can do
about
a
it.
deal a month. Yeah, a year.
With not much sweat off your back, really.
Yeah.
After you get everything down. I mean, of course, you're going to put the initial effort in. You got to go to the flight school, get your training. But then it's just like pop, right? It's like popcorn in the microwave.
Yeah.
And,
A deal a month is pretty friggin' attainable once you're rolling, right? Here's the problem: is that you look like I can see myself going back to when I first started, and like watching you guys and have one of you guys be like, "Yeah, I did 7 deals last month." You'd be like, "Oh, dude, I can go do that." Like, it takes a little bit of time to get there, right? But a deal a month changes your life. A deal a month after 9 months changes your life.
Yeah.
And that's
Isn't that
real
crazy?
money. Yeah, it's crazy. Dude, this is a
We talk
3-year
about
thing.
the
I say
big
this all the
stuff,
time.
but you dial back and you now. And look at, is there anything like myself? No real estate experience prior to this. So we talked about this on the webinar the other night, right, Bossman? We talked about like, we had Scott Todd for an amazing webinar on Flight School. We love when we get him on there because we just keep him talking, and it's awesome because he conveys so much power in his stories and in his sort of approach. But right, Bossman, it's like, some people say, I don't really have any experience. A firefighter for 20 plus years. I didn't do any real estate. I didn't buy houses. I bought my own house, but other than that, how about the two of you? Anything in your background that would have predisposed you as a superior land investor?
I bought the Carlton Sheets, CDs in 1998.
So is that a competitive advantage?
No. No. But if you bought the Carlton Sheets no money down program in 1998, please let me know. I would love to speak with you.
Here's the competitive advantage I had.
Okay.
I could follow a recipe, and there are not many people out there who can't follow a recipe, and that is what Scott Todd does for you in Flight School. It truly is a recipe. He holds up a cake box during his first call and says, "Follow the recipe," because if you don't, you're going to come out with a horrible cake in the end. You follow the recipe. That's all I did. Did I have certain skills that helped me? I had an amazing why, right? A lot of us need to have, or a strong why, I should say. My few whys were, I want financial security. I don't want financial stress. I want time with my family. I don't want no time with my family. Those were the reasons I chipped away at this consistently for a few years, and before I knew it, just chipping away at it replaced my income. And when you get to that point, your life, it spins on a dime, and priorities shift, things change. I go from working 50 hours a week to 30 hours a week because I can supplement my income with land investing. It's absolutely amazing. So no, you don't need any special skills, in my opinion. We have we have all walks of life in this community, and if you need to learn something, guess where you find it? YouTube. Like, how do I mail merge? Go YouTube. Some kid will teach you.
I like that.
Let me ask you this, both of you, because maybe this is a good couple. You know why it's up on the front of my mind is next week there may be some people that will be tuning into the Nightcap right after their very first
flight school.
It's starting next Wednesday, so they're listening right now. What should we do for advice? I mean, here I am. I've never done anything. I'm a little anxious, maybe a little nervous, a little excited. I'm going into this flight school next Wednesday. I just, what should we give them some advice? I mean, and like something to help them and get them ready, because it's starting in 7 days. It's here.
I got advice. You ready?
Yes.
Eat your Wheaties. Eat your Wheaties. That's what you got to do for flight school. You got to come prepared. Get your pen, get your pad. Let's go. You don't need anything. You need nothing coming into flight school. Zero. You need the right attitude, and you need to get ready to get after it and be in the right mental place.
Nice.
Do you know what I think, Mike, is even harder than getting ready for flight school is just committing to it.
Yeah.
When people commit to things, a lot of things go away. Like, commitment eliminates decisions, right? If I commit to this, if I do it, I don't have to make that decision anymore. It eliminates second guessing. If I commit to it, I don't have to second guess anymore. If I commit to it, it eliminates inaction. It eliminates so many things. So I think
Tony Robbins over here. I love it.
No, I'm just saying, like, kudos to everybody who signed up, because that's the hardest part.
Yeah.
Now it's like,
yes.
You've prepared enough because you committed, in my opinion.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That is such an awesome, because I was just talking to my wife Laura about this, because for the last it's been like 3 or 4 days. I've done this before, but it's like I'm trying to just eat better, right? So I said I'm not going to eat any bread, but if I say I'm going to eat a little bread, I'm going to eat a lot of bread. If I say no bread, it's a piece of cake. If I say no bread, it's a piece of cake. If I say a little bread, I'm eating those nacho chips all night long. So it's sort of like what you're saying. When you say I'm not, it's like this. All of a sudden, there's this switch that kicks. Like, I'm just not going to do it. But if I'm going to do a little bit of it, I want to do a lot of it. Yeah. So I think what you're saying is you're all in. You're making that full commitment.
Yeah, it's not, deciding to work hard when you get to the gym. It's deciding to go to the gym that's the problem. Once you're there, if you don't work hard, forget it. But most people I see at the gym work hard, right? But you gotta get there. Getting there is the hard part. Going out for that run is the hard part. Running down the road for 2 miles. I went for a 2-mile run yesterday. That's not the hard part. Being pissed off enough about my customer where I had to excuse myself and then go for a run. That was actually a really easy decision. But that's the hard part.
You're right. It is. It's truly, I think things always seem more daunting than they really are. But it is all that mental anxiety that we create. And I think that's a human condition. And it's hard to get around that in all things in life. And I guess the land investing will be no different. It's like you got to get around that. You got to put that aside, and you're doing it, and you're doing it. And I love this quote that Mark always says, and we brought this up before, and I don't think it's his quote. In fact, I know it's not.
Ziglar.
It's somebody else. Yeah, most people overestimate what they can do in a week and underestimate what they can do in a year. Meaning, just go. If you just do one thing per week, one little thing, it's going to add up cumulatively. Boom. But if you say, I'm going to do everything next week, well, come on. Nobody can do everything. It's going to be overwhelming, and you're going to have a hard time with it. But I'm going to do one, and that's flight school. Scott Todd says, here's tonight's lesson. You got one thing to do by next week, and just do it. And then the next week, one thing, and you keep rolling forward.
Well, that, 10,000 years ago and a million years before that, that's what kept you alive. It was scary and you didn't like it, so you didn't do it. And the people who did go out into the forest alone, they didn't come back. So it makes sense, right? We're bred not to do that, right? That uneasiness feeling that you have for all those people who went into flight school, that uneasy feeling you have, get used to it. That is a sign you're on the right track. That's exactly what it is, right? Just once you invert that and you're like, you know what? I'm pretty nervous. I'm feeling uneasy about this. That's a good thing. Get used to it.
I like that. Very cool.
You got questions?
We got a lot of comments. So, first of all, I was right about John's name. It is Greek, and I even pronounced it correctly. Paul Blotti says, good to see you guys. Let's see.
Hey, Paul.
Alyssa Swanson is watching. Alyssa, how are you? Barbara Kowalewski is watching. Kowalewski. Nice to see you. Peter Zerio says incremental residual income, nothing wrong with that. That's for sure. All right. A couple more comments and then I'll get a question or two. Paul Bellotti says, hey, Matt, I bought Carlton sheets used on eBay in 2003. Then Ron Burgundy, no, not Ron Burgundy, Ron LeGrand in 2005, and then finally implemented big time.
That's funny.
That's awesome. All right, so we have a question from John. Here we go. Kenny Rawlings is watching. Kenny, how's it going? Kenny's also about to start in flight school, which is exciting. So John says, how do you handle it when a buyer is in a 5-year term and at the second or third year he can't pay anymore? Mr. Forbes said they'd give it back. How do you all handle this?
I said I'd give it back?
No, so I think you're saying, how would you handle the fact that you have to now take the land away from them, and what is there a process in place? Is it complicated? Is that what he's saying, Scott?
I think he's just wondering the mechanics of it. It's not complicated. It's
it is what it is.
It is what it is. I'd say what percentage of the time? 10%, 10-15% of the time, people default. A lot of times they don't default into year 2, year 3. I even had a guy before all this COVID stuff happened 2 months ago. He defaulted in year 4 of an 8-year note. It's about a $190 payment monthly. I made my money back in year 1. Guess what? That is my asset. This guy disappeared. I don't know where he went. It's my asset. Right. I get to turn around and sell it again. And it's very simple, John. It's stated right in our land contract that there's a default period. If they don't pay in 60 days, we take the land back and sell it again.
You know what's in? Oh, go ahead.
You don't have to. You could.
No. You could gift
the
it.
Land.
Yeah.
You could give it to him. You could suspend payments. You can do whatever you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like I have 2 cases right now. I've got a guy who has COVID. He was in the ICU.
Oh,
he hasn't paid in 3 months.
That's a special case.
I didn't take the land away from him.
Yeah, right.
What the hell? All right, he's been paying on it for a year and a half. Like, I'm not going to, maybe he's watching some. I will take it away from you, but no, we'll give him some time. And then I got another guy who is nuts and moved to Hawaii and, can try to find a job. I think chased a girl, and that guy's going to lose his property soon. Like,
it's
right?
very.
Look, when you don't pay your car payment in year 4 on a 6-year note, what do you think they do?
Yeah,
take your car.
And it's also what's interesting with it's not like no one's credit is going to get affected if they stop paying. And the other thing is sometimes there are people legitimately that may just be like, hey, it's sort of like it's a very cheap. Look how easy and how to control that land, how they make this small couple $100 payment. They may just want to go use it for whatever reason for a couple of years and be like, you know what, I'm done with it. I'm all set. And that they've had their enjoyment, they've done with it, and it's not a big deal. We can go sell to somebody else. It's not like we're going to go out and slam down their credit. It doesn't work that way. So we're very easy to work with. We're actually it's good for them to work with us because if they decide they don't want it anymore or anything like that, it's no fuss, no muss. We're easy
Yeah.
to work with, all of us.
Yeah, I really, I've had a lot of defaults where the people just disappear, and I feel bad about that. Like, I call
Yeah.
them, email them, text them, send them letters in the mail. Like, you've paid on this property for 3 years. That's just money out the window. Unless you did get some enjoyment out of the property, now you just want to get rid of it. That's fine. You wash your hands of it and move on. But those people you can't find. So in that instance, I'm taking my property back and selling it again. Matt, I've had an instance where somebody paid me $5,000 down on a really big property, paid me $500 a year for the first year, and then they had to default. And we conversed about it. We talked about it, right?
Yeah.
They just couldn't do it anymore. They maybe took on a bigger property than they should have, but because we developed a good relationships and because they communicated with me, I said, "Oh, well, you maybe can't have these 60 acres here, but I do have this property a few miles away that's 3 acres. How about I just give that to you or deed it? I'll just deed that to you." And then it worked out that way. So that was kind of cool.
So that's crazy awesome. Like, don't just move on from that and be like, yeah, so I just gifted him this property. So what else are we going to talk about? Dude, that's a big deal. Like, that's kind of an awesome thing you did. You didn't have to. You did it because you're a good guy. Like, it's not all, you didn't pay, so I'm taking your stuff back and I'll sell it to someone else. Ha, ha, ha. It's not that. Like, that's awesome, man.
Well, I
You get to
appreciate
do
that.
Did it feel good? I bet that felt ridiculously good.
It felt good. I mean, I felt better. I felt bad that they had to default, and I'm like, what can I? What can I do? You're literally like $11,000 in to this thing. Oh, look at that! I got a refill. Thanks, buddy.
I'll have a double, please.
That's my shaggy son. It's my shaggy 15-year-old who refuses to even shave.
Get that boy
COVID.
a haircut.
Yeah, right.
God's sakes.
No, that did feel good.
Can you imagine?
Go ahead.
Can you imagine if it's someone's buying a car, right? And like you said, Matt, year 3, they're like, I can't make payment. Sir, hold on a second. We have another car, this used one. We're just going to give that one to you instead because we appreciate your payment.
Exactly.
This is nice of you. I mean, can you ever imagine that happening?
Right. Imagine the bank being like, yeah, that 5-bed, 4-bath, we get it. That's too much. You know what? Here's a 3-2 on the house. Thanks so much for playing the game.
I mean, that puts things in perspective, doesn't it?
Right? It does.
Like, are you serious?
It totally does. I'm refilling early, boys.
Oh.
You know what? Why not? Okay, there we go.
Well, you worked hard this week. You know.
Wasman.
Dude, I bought my tractor. I'm living large right now. That bottle of wine was not open this afternoon.
Ah, well, that happens.
Hello, Governor?
Hello, Governor. So, any other comments? We got our watchers. It's really weird. Like, it goes from 39 to 14 to 6 to, I don't know. So, something's wonky. Something's wonky.
9,447.
But let's see.
Got questions, though.
Any more? So we got a comment from Ken Green is watching. He says you can renegotiate the note and increase the yield. Win-win. That's exactly right.
Yep.
On those
Good
defaults. What do you see, Matt, on your end?
Yeah, I like that.
Do you see anything on your end, Matt? I'm on the.
I got a question from Joel. Hey, gents, how many ads do you post on Facebook Marketplace per day? ? Are the ads long or more precise with cost items and a CTA call to action? With a call to action like message or, call us, etc. So how are you rocking Facebook?
Good question.
So here's the thing, like, you got to split test everything, right? We're constantly, I was just talking to my Facebook guy about this today because there's been some changes in the last week with Facebook. We're like, all right, we gotta mix things up a little bit. We gotta try this. I was talking to Zano about it today. Things have changed, so you got to constantly split test things. I think on the whole, well, it's interesting because some people do really amazing short ads on Facebook, and they get a lot of attention, and they might get 100 people in their inbox messaging them about the property, but that's a lot of work to try to like navigate the waters there with 100 leads. Whereas maybe somebody else is more descriptive with their ad, and they get a little bit fewer, more quality leads. So I think there are multiple approaches out there, and you got to figure out what's best for you and how to manage it.
Yeah. That's not a cop-out answer either.
I'm not trying.
Like, that's the truth. Right? You're not. I know, but like I could see somebody watching that being like, well, he didn't answer the question. Well, guess what? I'm in a group with two different other people. One of them does super short Facebook ads and is successful, and the other one writes ridiculously long, shoot myself in the face, I don't want to even read this ad, and is successful. So it depends on how you want to go about it, right? So here's the deal. You can win either way.
I agree. I totally agree. I think I look and say what is the goal? What's the deliverable? And if it's acquiring emails and phone numbers, then you can, short ads are fine, and you just build up that the database of potential customers, and they onboard into your, they get their email onboarding series, and they go into your CRM, and they start getting deal of the week and all that jazz. Then that's good, So it's however you want to do it. You can go with that long approach or the short approach, but definitely no reason. I think, as you were saying, Scott, no reason to not split test it, right? Give it a see what works best for you. And as Matt identified, we have people that do well on both with both. So, and it's how many? I mean, you could post a couple a day, wait a couple of days, post a couple more. You want to get a rhythm, but you don't want to get in Facebook jail. So you kind of you just test the waters, slow but sure. Sometimes it's not about the number of ads; it's about just about paying attention to those ads, responding to people, renewing them. So there's tactics, right? But you got to start somewhere. So start small. Don't go out and just like start posting a bazillion ads and have your account freeze up. That's not going to do anybody any favors.
Sometimes it's about also, and you guys have probably noticed this, sometimes it's about how attentive you are to the leads. Because
I think so.
I mean, if you have somebody...
They want attention.
Yeah, if you have somebody waiting in the wings, ready to pounce on that response and to engage them in conversation, what's the likelihood that you're going to have good success with that person or maybe with that particular technique versus, letting 100 messages fill your feed for 2 days and then answering them?
Yeah.
So,
by the way, I know people who do it both ways, and it works. I know somebody who waits a while. I'm like, that's so dumb. You're so dumb. And they're like, well, I sell more than you do, and I'm like, well, okay, it's a good point.
It's like,
but so what the problem with Facebook is you can drive yourself absolutely bonkers, right? You can go post a lot of ads, get a ton of traffic coming in, be super attentive and not really learn things. Right. You're trying to post ads, you're trying to sell property, but you're trying to run little experiments, and you're trying to figure out what is working for you in the places you're posting, at the frequency that you're posting, what you're posting about, what you're saying, how quickly you respond. And there's so many variables that it's really, really hard to start to find the trends. So you just got to go do it. I think the one thing all three of us would agree on wholeheartedly is you can't go post an ad and think you're going to sell a property. Does that say Florida, Florida, Florida?
Uh-oh.
No, it says Barry Never Pinder.
BNP. Busy, not productive. That's the danger of Facebook.
Yes.
Oh, man.
You can get real busy in there.
BNP.
Zero.
Yeah.
BNP, yeah, you know me.
A lot. Wow.
Busy,
okay,
not productive.
Next
you don't
question.
want to be BNP. Don't be BNP.
So we got to give a shout out and raise your glass, fellas. The Godfather's watching. The creator, Mark Podolsky, he's watching on YouTube tonight. That's got to be a new use.
Periscope, because then we can do 200% increase on our viewers.
Yeah. Mark, if you go to Periscope, Mike Newble's watching on Periscope. That's going to double our number of watchers on Periscope this week. Oh, okay. Oh, we have to address this. We have to address this because people are saying that Mark broke the streak today, and when I say streak, I'm referring to his live Facebook video streak.
Uh-oh.
He actually did not break the streak today. He attempted, and I think he was even on for a few seconds, and he had internet issues. Like his internet just went gone, right? So people are giving Mark a hard time about breaking the streak today. But listen.
Or Mark could just come on and say hi right now. 2 seconds. Hi. That's it.
Yeah, there you go.
I think to solidify this, Mark better show up because trying doesn't count.
Mark Podolsky says the streak has not been broken, and here's what Mark did. This is really cool. Because he did not have internet access at his computer, I believe he was on his phone, and he went in and he posted this amazing new video. And if you guys haven't seen this yet, go in the Facebook group today and watch the video that Mark posted today about where he was in life. And he talks about this at boot camp to a degree, about where he was in life back in 2008, 9, and 10, and how this business changed his life. He's jumping on Skype now. Okay, we're going to bring him on. But anyway, he uploaded this video, and everybody needs to go watch this video because it's really an amazing video. It's very well done. And he commented on that video while it was playing. He was commenting, and interacting with people during the playing of the video. So I do not think the streak has been broken. That's live.
That's live.
It's been broken.
No, it has not been broken.
It's got to be live. The streak is to be live. You can't try to be live and call that.
You know what? He's coming on live right now, and it will definitely not be broken. You just wait a minute.
Like, you can't be like, how many posts did you have on Facebook? And be like, well, I tried real hard, but I didn't post any. Like something didn't work. You're like, okay, so you posted none. Doesn't count.
Down hard on the creator. Coming down hard on the
creator.
You
are coming
down. That's crap. You got to get online. You got to go buy some kind of Surface Pro and make it happen.
Oh, okay. Here we go.
Yes.
Yeah, there we go.
Or maybe he needs 6 screens and a big microphone in front of his face.
Oh, and a John Deere.
And a John Deere.
Nothing runs like a deer. We grew up with a John Deere that my dad bought for $5,000 in 1984. And my sister still has that tractor.
Wow. That's...
Yeah. That thing is old. Very, very old.
It runs.
Yeah. Now it's on its like 5th seat, but whatever. Anyways, where is he?
I don't know. I'm calling him. He's getting on Skype. He's coming. Let's see if we got any other.
No bueno.
Oh, here's another question from our from John Sotiropoulos. Ready? If you buy, let's say, a 20 or a 30 acre package and it's in a good spot, can you break it up into smaller lots and then I would think that
subdivide?
Can you subdivide? Zeno, can you subdivide?
That just depends on the area. And, there are some instances where it's not very difficult, and there are some where it's more difficult. It's really case by case. But yes, that is definitely a possibility. There are people that make a lot of money buying large tracts of land and subdividing them. Absolutely.
Yeah. I word of caution. I work. One of the areas I work, I thought I was going to go do that, but it wasn't going to go.
Can't
hear you. Must be that piece of crap microphone. Oh, there he is, showing up everywhere. Come on, Mark. You can't. Nope.
Maybe it's on our end. You got to unmute him, Matt.
No, I don't have him muted. He's.
Mark, you gotta switch it off that ridiculous headset. There you go, big boy. God, I like him. I like how he just disappears into the mountains. Anybody else?
Tony Grigio says Forbesy, that's a handsome microphone and stand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love Fortune 500 Forbes.
Oh, there he is.
How are you, sir? So here we have on Nightcap, Fortune 500 Forbes, the Zen Master Mike Zano, and of course, the Nightcap OG dude buddy, Scott Bossman. Thank you all for being here.
You sound handsome.
We hear that you're super happy because today is today the last day you have to hold that mic?
Friday.
Oh, it's
Friday.
Friday.
One more day.
I mean,
One more day.
it's definitely contributing to the definition of your biceps because you've been doing this now for like 2 weeks. Like all day long, you're holding this thing.
That's right, Matt Forbes. I'm blowing up my left arm, my left bicep. While you turn to jello with your big fancy boom mic. You know, by the way, I've got a new song. If I could be like Matt, I want to be like
Yes.
Matt. I've
You're like
got
the
a
fourth
mic,
person
I'm
to sing that to
boom
me
mic.
this week.
What's that?
You're the fourth person to sing me that this week. It's crazy.
Yeah. So, what about missing fellas? What are any good questions? I'm only doing this, by the way, because of Tony Grigio.
Yeah.
That's right.
The streak has not ended.
No, it has not
He
ended.
was right, though. He
No.
was definitely right. Like, just because your Mac doesn't work and you can't go online doesn't mean the streak's not ended. Like, that was going to be the end of the streak. So I'm glad to see you here.
I'm here.
Yeah.
Good.
Mark, we've been giving, so next week at this time, a whole fresh batch of people will be coming out of their first flight school and coming right here to watch the nightcap, of course. So we were just giving them advice as to how to prepare for this this moment. They're launching. So maybe you want to give them a little pearl of wisdom. Anything you could say to them. I mean, this is coming in 7 days. It starts. It's here.
Wow. I mean, I think there's two ways you can go. I think the first way is, really just create sort of a disciplined schedule for yourself and know when you're going to mail, know when you're going to market, and start just knowing, like I don't want decision fatigue. I want to know when I'm going to be executing in the business and setting your goals and doing that. The second way is don't be lonely in this. Apply for one-on-one coaching and let us create a business for you in the next year and start really doing this as a business. So, the flight school tuition gets applied towards coaching. I would apply for one-on-one coaching. I know it sounds so, but that's really the way to get to that next level the fastest. You could do it the Philip Ma way. You could struggle for 9 months and then apply. Or you could just do it.
That falls in line with what we've been saying tonight is the idea
Commit.
of being all in, right? Commit and be all in. And I love it. And did you happen to see this? Did you know what this means? Did you catch that earlier?
Yeah, it's
BNP,
busy,
yeah, you know
not
me.
productive.
Yes. And that's what happened. Sometimes people, and you just said that when you said decision fatigue. That's what made me think of this, because if you don't really have a solid plan, you can definitely get this. Oh, am I going to do this? Am I going to do that? And that does, my God, that does wear upon you. That's a great point.
Yeah, I mean, flight school, you've got the fundamentals, but you've got hopefully not a new job for yourself. And now we want to make this a business, and we want to make this a passive income machine. And it's not like flipping on a light switch.
Nope.
And the accountability piece is really, priceless in that sense. Because I know for me, like left my own devices, I'm not going to work out. But I joined a group with Scott Bossman, Eric Peterson. I had to work out today. I had to get on the Peloton because I could not do it and let those guys down. In the same way, you cannot not execute in this business and let your coach down. And then a year later, you're out of it. I mean, you've built the machine, or, to take my analogy further, you're as fit as Scott Bossman.
Right. Speaking of fit, speaking of as fit as Scott Bossman, Mark, you're going to blush at this one. Renee Rogers says, nice pipes, Mark. Huh?
It might be because of the new hairdo, too. It brings it out. He's a little bit more, growing it out, Mark. Looks good.
I know. I'm going the opposite of Matt Forbes. Like, he's getting cleaner and tighter. I'm literally going into like a Marge Simpson bouffant, and I'm going to put these things out.
Is it going to be blue?
Like, where are you keeping the mic, Mark? I'm like, it's right here. It's in my head.
Oh,
What
man.
what do we have to do to have a bet where when you lose, you dye your hair blue for the next boot camp? What does that bet look like?
What are we betting?
Anything as long as if you lose, you have blue hair for boot camp. Whatever it is, don't care.
Oh, that's
Gotta think about that one.
yeah.
Hey, Matt, how about this is the bet. Who does more deals this month?
I'm not
If
taking
I do more deals this month,
then who?
you gotta-
Everybody else combined?
what's that?
Then who? Everybody else combined?
No, you.
Yeah, I don't think so. You gonna spot me a couple hundred deals? Maybe we'll talk.
All
All
right. Here's a great question, Mark. This is a great question from Tony Grigio, and Mike Zano and I have the pleasure of talking to a lot of people on the verge of coaching, and we get this question a lot as well. So Tony says, how many deals do you recommend someone has under their belt prior to one-on-one coaching?
Ooh, good question.
So basically, and I say this to boot camp, and it's not to sound, it does sound a little arrogant, but I don't mean it to sound arrogant. In the sense, we consider our coaching program kind of like Harvard. So why is Harvard? Because the kids that go to Harvard were going to be successful anyways, right? So we're just going to take your work ethic, your talent, your skill set that you've already proven in flight school, and we're just going to focus it bigger, badder. We're going to put you on steroids in the coaching program. So essentially, if you've been struggling in flight school and we look at your application, we're probably going to say you need to do these things first,
Right.
and then reapply. But if you've been executing the entire way in flight school, you're ready for coaching.
Yeah.
I love that, Mark, because we really are and transparent about that, right? It's really and it's not to discourage anyone, because the coaching is here when they're ready, and there's certain things they just have to get in line when they're ready. And then others are ready to go right away. We want to make sure it's the right time for you to do that, to take that step. So everybody's going to have a different moment, but I love that. It's very transparent.
No, yeah, absolutely. Not everybody that applies gets into coaching, but we'll be honest with you and say these are the things you need to do first before you're ready. So it doesn't. It doesn't
we've had
cost
people
$500 to apply, but it's refundable. So if you don't get into coaching, you get your $500 back. But at least we know you're serious about it.
What another great reason to apply, just to hear us give you some pointers on what you should do. It's like a free strategy session.
It is a free strategy stuff.
Yeah, it could be. It
absolutely
could be.
And we've had people, Mark, where maybe they haven't, maybe they really want coaching, but maybe maybe we want to have them a little bit more success prior to going into coaching. They do it. They buckle up. They bootstrap it after flight school. They do it on their own for a while. They start doing deals, and then they start coaching down the road. So, it's pretty awesome to see that happen as well, which does happen sometimes.
No, absolutely.
And then there's then we have people that actually start taking action inside flight school, start getting traction, and it's just everybody at their own pace, and they might go right into coaching, because we could always assist them with getting their strategy call, having that coach in the background. So there's so many different ways. So if you feel like this is something you want to do, just apply. You get the free strategy call with Mia Bossman, and we'll go from there.
I think since Mark is on, I think we need to do something special. So
yeah, but I don't have a drink. I feel like I should just drop off.
No, not at all. This you don't need a drink for this.
Or
Mark.
go get a drink. There are options. There's ways to do this.
Yeah, I mean,
There's only
if you want
8 minutes left in the show, Mark. We go an hour. We got 7 minutes.
Okay.
What are we doing?
So we used to have a lot of segments during Nightcap, and maybe we had too many segments. I don't know, but I'm going to pull a segment. I'm going to pull a segment out now that we used to do. It's my favorite segment. It's called the Boston Lager segment of the week.
Yes.
All right.
This is my favorite segment too.
So this is so in this segment. Normally what happens is Scott Bossman spells a word, and Mike Zano pronounces the word very incorrectly. in his Boston
Correctly.
accent. But
Correctly.
because Mark is here tonight and because he loves imitating Mike Zano so much, and if you want proof of this, go back and watch the Mastermind Halloween call from, I think, 2018, where Mark, he was Mike Zano for Halloween, and it was absolutely amazing. Anyway, so Mark, you are going to pronounce the word as if Mike Zano is saying the word. Are you ready?
All right, Scott Bossman. I'm wicked smart. Give me a word.
All right. And before I get to the word, here's the
Do I have to
favorite.
continue doing this.
Here's the
Yes,
favorite.
go on.
Here's the favorite Boston Lego word of the week. Mike,
You're breaking up.
what's the favorite word of the week?
You want me to say it?
Yeah, I want you to say it.
Cheetah.
The cheetah. Mark knows never play cards with a cheetah. Who would ever want to
Cheetah.
play cards with a cheetah? Nobody.
That was the easy one.
That's,
All
by
right.
the way, how you pronounce the word, though. Like, it's not like that's wrong.
All right.
By the
So
way, speaking of cheetahs, am I the only one that kind of misses Tiger King?
yeah, but did you see the news this
They
week
just-
with Nicolas Cage?
Yeah.
What
Nick
happened?
Cage is going to be Joe Exotic.
Nick Cage is playing Joe Exotic in a TV show.
It's
Oh
going to
my
be a
gosh,
disaster.
that is going to break something. I don't know.
Hopefully the internet, but
No
it'll be
matter
good.
how
I'll watch.
bad it is, it's going to get a bazillion views.
Oh, for sure.
All right, so
That's a no-brainer. That's a no-brainer.
here's the Boston Lego word of the week.
$1 Skittle.
You ready, Mark? Here we go.
I'm ready.
This is a hard one for the spellers out there. Cleanser.
Cleanser.
Cleanser. Yeah,
Facial cleanser? Come on.
Facial
right.
cleanser.
Complexion, you need a facial cleanser.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Nailed it.
So
Nailed it.
this is what happens, Scott Bossman. I wake up in the morning, I tap Lara, I say, "Let's go take a hike, and we're gonna go a steam and we'll shower, and we're gonna lather up, and it's
Oh my
like my own personal country club."
God.
And then Laura makes a nice coffee for me. I don't know what she does with herself. But all I know is it comes. It's frothy. It's delicious.
It's a true story.
And, money for
I
the
thought
day.
it crazy.
And then all I know is money comes to me because I just keep closing deals. You get a deal. Josh, you close a deal? Good boy. More deals.
That was amazing. That was amazing.
No comment.
That was good. That was good.
I think we all know how to pronounce that word though, and it's cleanser. Just so we know. Just to
Cleanser.
throw that out there.
I've never even heard of that. What is that?
Isn't that a character on Pulp Fiction? They call him the cleanser. Remember that guy? Come in and the cleaner.
You mean the wolf?
No, the cleaner. The cleaner comes in and he cleans up the crime scene. They have a cleaner in
That's
John Wick
Winston
as
the
well.
Wolf.
Is that his name? I don't know.
Yeah. You mean he's
The
the guy
cleaner.
that solves problems.
Yeah, he solves the problems.
He solves the problems.
Yeah, isn't that that's John Wick? Is that?
Yeah, but I think
Yeah.
it's Pulp Fiction too.
I think it's
There's a
common
cleaner.
role. It's a common role in those kind of movies. The cleaner.
The
Yeah,
cleaner.
The
cleaner.
Or
Yeah.
or
Oh, the
in Matt's world, it's Anne Marie.
Yeah.
Anne Marie,
My wife.
we've got a problem with the kids.
Oh yeah. No.
Uh,
Why would I know that we have a problem with the kids before her? That doesn't even make any sense.
Yeah, that's true.
All right. So, any other questions before we sign off? Let's see. Paul Blotti says, "Paul, welcome." Oh, Mitchell Kurtz says, "You guys are the best." That's nice of you, Mitchell. Paul Blotti, Scott talked about split testing the marketing. What about the mailing? Do any of you ever change up the suggested letter and the purchase agreement with other things to get a better response?
Not one time.
No, we changed the pricing, maybe adjust it as necessary. That's why you continuously mail. And Scott Todd talks about, kind of adjusting, listening to the market. But the letter is the letter. I mean,
Letter.
Letter is the letter.
How many years ago? It's the same letter we still use now. Why change it?
Well, here
Yeah.
this is actually a really important part, right? Because people are like, all right, I want to reinvent this and I want to spend time and redo this. Like, that is not the crap you spend your time reinventing. You do not reinvent the letter. The letter works. It demonstrably works. Leave it alone. Like, if your business is so automated that you don't go to work ever and you're like, you know what I want to do today? I'm not going to go play 18. I'm going to go rewrite that letter. Then God bless you. But until that day comes, go spend your time doing the stuff that matters. Go split test Facebook ads. Go figure out Craigslist. Do the stuff that's going to make you money, because it's not the letter. I promise.
Yeah, I mean, I've been doing this 20 years. Not that much has changed. In fact, I had somebody ask me, like, hey, are you going to update the toolkit? And I can update it as far as, like, looking better, because it's looking a little long in the tooth. But the content itself, like, you'll notice when it came to Facebook module, like, that's up to date. Like, that's Mimi talking about the most current Facebook thing. But the basics of marketing in there are fundamental. Like, it's the fundamentals. Like, you want to have a compelling headline. You want to have urgency. You want to have scarcity in every single ad. You want to have a clear call to action. Those things were just as relevant 20 years ago as they are today. And yeah, the tools are different now, but we update that resources section. Like, Paul Brewer was really super generous giving us his Airtable, and we're going to add that to the toolkit. But as far as doing a whole new module on marketing and more, buyers than you can handle, I don't think that much has really changed, honestly. I could be wrong.
No, that's a great point. It probably the only thing that may have changed is that the way that we convey the knowledge and the information to people has just been so streamlined into a recipe. It's like everything has just been, showed up. I don't want to bring up the 4 years, 4 months thing, so I won't even go there. I'm just saying that we've streamlined the process.
Yeah.
He's going to drop that mic on his foot and break his foot. That's what he's going to do.
Yep.
He had to switch to the right hand. That is heavy.
Actually, hold on. I found, if I can, Bosman, I found a game for Mark and Zano to compete against. Do we have 2 minutes to play this game?
Well, sure we do.
Yes.
I mean, it's
okay. Here we go.
We have all night,
boys. Are you ready?
My arm is starting to shake. I don't know. 2 minutes.
In your very best Boston accent, you have to say the word. Sort of like Jeopardy, but you don't have to say the question. Right?
Okay.
So I'm going to give you an example. I'm going to give you the definition. You're going to give me the word. Ready? So this definition is synonymous with very or really. Used to describe, to add emphasis to any adjective.
Wicked?
Wicked. There it is.
Oh, 1-0. 1-0.
Okay, here we go. Top 5. Here we go. Ready? Number 1. A native to neighborhoods in the Boston area like Charleston and Dorchester. If you are native, you are a townie. Nobody wins.
Oh, townie.
That's a different area than me.
Number 2, a liquor store.
A packy.
A packy. All right.
I'm not going to get any of
for
these.
2. A drinking fountain.
Mr. Mom, I better get
Bubba.
careful here.
Oh, 2-1. 2-1.
Dolsky gets one.
That's
2-1.
Boston's favorite coffee shop.
Oh, Mark, do you know this one?
Mark. Yeah. Come
Dunk.
on. Dunks. Dunkies.
Donkeys.
Whoop.
The basement.
That's why I hear
Cellar.
right now.
It's the
What do you
cellar.
call it?
The cellar.
The cellar. All right. A sandwich
Mark.
or a hoagie. In Boston, we call it a...
I don't know. Everybody calls them subs. Come on.
Come on, it's a grinder. Come on.
Oh, grinder.
Grind.
All right.
Grinder.
Dinner.
Dinner?
Supper?
Supper.
Oh!
Wow.
4-2.
A U-turn.
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 Oh, come on. Banging a Yui.
Okay.
Come on.
Oh.
What are you talking about? All right, last one. The remote control.
The remote control.
The freaking clicker.
Clicker.
From?
Listen, remember Mr. Mom? I always play
Yeah.
his name when they're racing, and he's like, "You gotta let him win." I'm not gonna let him win. You gotta let him win. I'm not trying to steal the win from the creator. No freaking way.
All right, fine.
No,
He-
it's your town. You deserve the win. I think
Sorry,
a more
Thanks,
interesting game would be what type of cheese is Bossman going to eat all week?
Curds for 300,
All of-
Alex.
all of the cheese.
Squeaky curds.
Just remember, Mark is the Godfather, and you may end up with a horse in your bed, Zano. Just saying, horse's
No.
I
head.
like that.
Horse's head.
No.
No, that.
I can help facilitate that.
I got nothing but love for all three of you.
Aw.
You too, Mark.
Thank you for jumping on, Mark. You kept the streak alive.
Oh, Johnny Murrow.
That's right. I'll tell you who
Awesome.
should be worried right now is Tony Grigio.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna end up with a horse's head in his
Out
bed.
like that. He called you out.
He called me out.
Like, he was right,
Yeah.
by the way. For the record, he was right. The
What do you mean?
streak-
He was, I said
What?
I went
You
on.
posted a recording?
I posted
and
a
you went live?
recording.
It's a great.
Live?
Hey, Forbes. You know what? Before you judge Forbes, watch that video. It's an amazing video. Watch it.
I haven't seen the video. You know why? Because it's a video. It's not live. The streak is live.
It went live.
He was commenting
I,
live.
I was commenting live.
I'm out. It doesn't count.
Oh, but he's on right now, so
Sure.
we're good.
Hey, it doesn't matter. He did it now. He's on.
No, I'm not. No, the streak is continued. I'm just saying if he hadn't come on. So I like
Oh.
Tony, you know,
Look at all
voting
the
him to come
power
on
that
the
comes
show.
with
This is great.
Forbes' mic. That mic is just—he's swinging a bunch of power now. That new mic. Look at him go. Look at him go.
I'm just facing facts. You guys are kowtowing to the Godfather. That's cool. You guys want to
Although-
bend, you know?
Although I have to admit, Mark, right when the show started, he started talking. I texted Laura. I said, "Order it. It's on the way."
Yes.
Wow,
Okay,
nice.
I'm in.
Yes.
I
This will be
put-
the best.
Speaking of kowtowing, is everybody ready for Mother's Day? Is it all set?
Is that coming up?
Oh.
Here's a funny story. It's early this year, right? And I went to Target tonight because I had to get some other essentials. And
Liquor.
I walked by the card aisle, and I'm like, oh yeah, it's Mother's Day this week. So I proceed. I didn't plan on buying any cards at Target, but I proceed to go to the card aisle. And here's the funny thing about card shopping nowadays: you don't want to touch the cards, right? Because a lot of other people touch the cards. So you're trying to figure out what the top half of the card. You're trying to figure out what the saying is and what the content is of the card by reading the top half of the card. And seeing how, like, is it a pretty card? Does it look nice? And does the first half of the saying maybe apply to my wife or my mom or my stepmom or whatever? Because I only want to touch this card. I don't want to touch all the cards. You see
Yeah.
where I'm coming on? It was difficult
I
card
totally-
shopping tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why God invented Amazon.
But I bought like 6 or 7 cards for $40 because that's how expensive cards are.
Oh yeah, the price of cards is
you need-
definitely
Cards.
jacked up.
Yeah, the price
Yeah,
of
but
You need to
cards.
send me one,
remember
Bosman.
last
I
year
need
when you
one
put-
that's like, I love you, you're the best. I need one like that. If you could forward me one, that'd be great.
Yeah, we would have like that Mother's Day tradition of going out for brunch.
Oh, yeah. Gone.
Like that's
Long
like
gone.
now I gotta ship her favorite food in.
I'm going to give you guys a preview of my wife's Mother's Day card. She'll never watch this anyway.
Only
It's,
watching.
no,
She's
it's
only
really
watching.
She's not
Okay.
watching. It's really awesome. You ready? Here's what it says.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's really good.
Ah?
Let's say on the inside.
Oh, it says. I mean, that's for her and I. That's for her and I. But it's Princess
Oh,
Leia.
I didn't know you'd filled it out.
No, I haven't filled it
No,
out.
wait, hold on.
Hey,
Now you put a
Matt.
note. This is for all the guys out there. Do you write a note? I just signed my name, and I'm like, I hate every minute of this. Here you go.
Oh, dude, you got to write a note.
Got it right.
I'm not.
Come
writing
on, man.
Oh,
Write a
really?
note this year.
Oh, shoot.
I don't know. I write a short.
You don't write
something
anything,
Sign
Santa.
my name. It's not a note. No, it's just a couple of little keywords and sign my name. I think hey, I don't know.
Keywords,
spent
what?
all the time
Hashtags?
picking
You
out
put some
the cards.
hashtags in there and sign your name? You guys got to talk to your wives. Talk to your wives. Say something. Write a paragraph.
Oh.
You need an opening sentence. You need a body. You need
Mark, you got an ad copy? Somebody I can borrow?
Oh my God, I need an ad writer for this. Exactly.
By the way, Tony came back. He's like, it was a question, not a call out.
yeah, I don't know.
Tony,
He's
all
worried.
forgiven.
He's worried, Mark.
man,
See you at boot camp
don't kowtow to the man. It's okay.
He's nervous.
You're right. Stick with it. Me and you, Tony. Me and you.
Man, I see. This is why I miss boot camp.
Totally.
Look
I'm
at he
stuck
switched
on this
hands
stuff.
again. That's a heavy mic. All right, we got to let him go. He's already switched hands again.
One last thing from
It is a heavy mic. That's
one last thing from Tony Grigio. He says, Matt, you got to sell it, not mail it in. Don't you know a thing or two about sales? He's talking about your Mother's Day card, dude.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't. Here's the
Paragraph.
thing. I don't do what I don't care about. I'm not in.
Wow.
yeah.
Wow.
I'm not in.
Matt.
Oh.
The card. I don't understand the card.
I think we better sign off.
Goes to a store and spends $8 on a card. You know who else doesn't understand that? My wife. Neither of us get it.
Fair enough then.
All right.
If she's good with it, who
Yeah.
are we to judge?
Yeah. Pound
Yeah.
sand, Bosman. What do you think of that?
Oh.
To,
I think it's time to round this up and give a toast.
To-
Who's going to do it?
to each his or her wife's own. And
Write
also,
a paragraph?
Paul Bellotti would like to celebrate it's National Nurses Day. I didn't even know that. It's National Nurses Day.
No.
There are heroes. I mean, that's a timely toast right there. My mom's a nurse.
I have
My aunt's a nurse. Mike,
2 kids
Agreed.
that are nurses.
2 kids
My
are
daughter, my
nurses.
son. Yeah.
Here's
Saw
to the
a nurse on
nurses
TV that
because
one time.
yeah,
All right, to the nurses.
to the nurses. Cheers.
The nurses.
Prost.
Prost
Skull.
to the heroes.
Mark, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Thanks,
I
Mark.
appreciate it.
Good night, everybody.
See you guys.